That's an hour-long video. Chaos, what the frick? I don't know if I can react to this whole thing.
Spent the night at this actual place, and you will too, because in this
Let's watch a couple minutes of this.
Well, we spent the night at this actual place, and you will too, because in this video, we're
exploring liminal spaces. It's an hour-long video. I'm down to watch like 10 minutes of it. Let's do it.
How does this image make you feel? The components look somewhat familiar. Apartment blocks, a courtyard.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, I could definitely see myself watching this going to sleep.
Something's off. The more you look, the stranger it becomes. It's seemingly a courtyard with some greenery, yet you notice that there's a ceiling, and very quickly you realize why the image feels so suffocating. There's not even access to the courtyard from what looks like the rooms. There's no doors. It's even being blocked off by some sanitized looking glass at the front.
It's like, what is this trying to, is this trying to mimic outside, but inside, but I don't get it.
The whole environment feels synthetic. The soulless, repetitive flat windows, the obtrusively placed ventilation unit oddly disrupts the space, not to mention the strange black window in the top left, or the two figures in the far window, with even more windows behind them, next to a room tinged with dull orange light, reminiscent of the Backrooms to their left.
So it don't make no sense.
The lighting feels dreary, like this area has existed for years. But at the same time, it feels like fiction.
Like who's in charge of like the light bulbs here?
Like a prison.
You gotta have uniform light bulbs. What are you doing?
From being there. Yet to thousands upon thousands of people, it still feels familiar. Like you've been there. Like you've lived there. But all that's left is a fragment of a memory. Or at the very least, you've been a visitor in one of your dreams. This is a great example of a liminal space image. It's one of the most famous ones. But did you know that it really exists? In today's video, we'll explore real liminal spaces, staying overnight at famous ones like this one, and seeing if the feelings we get from them are the same in person as in the images, finding our own new undiscovered liminal spaces, and trying to recreate common liminal spaces that other people have encountered. From shut down cinemas, unique cultural gems, highways out of use, and trying to get as far as we can into real backrooms, we can learn firsthand what makes liminal spaces feel the way they do, and what we can learn from them. Do they just radiate common memories, experiences, and fears that we share? The imagination's transforming the unknown to create incredible fiction from passionate internet users? Or is there something more tangible and useful that we can take from this phenomenon? First up, we have the hotel we've just seen, which happens to be a real hotel in London, England. The 761-room hotel is found inside of Heathrow Airport, and has the honour of bearing the beautiful name Terminal 4 Holiday Inn, which opened in 2018. It was marketed as featuring the latest technology with an express cafe and bar and larger, cozier beds, boasting executive lounges and luxurious bedrooms, claiming as featuring the latest—
You can see the buildings in the back! The rooms,
technology
the windows,
with an express cafe and bar and larger, cozier beds, boasting executive lounges and luxurious bedrooms, claiming state-of-the-art facilities, definitely pointing towards a tech future aesthetic. ICA, the interior design firm behind this hotel, aimed for emphasis on comfort and functionality, though they don't even show this project on their portfolio. I think the end results after construction was probably just too liminal for them. This hotel even appears in Garry's Mod horror maps and features as a cameo in various other backroom games.
I've always felt sort of a strange connection to this liminal space image in particular. And so much has changed on the channel and in my life and with who I am as a person since I explored it. Even though it was only about a year and a half ago, I feel like almost a nostalgia for it.
Bro, imagine building this freaking hotel at an airport and somebody out here being like, bro, this weird architecture here has been been sticking with me throughout my life.
It just seems like such a distant memory.
Oh my goodness.
But how to compare in real life? We hopped on the 50-minute train to Heathrow Airport to find out.
Let's go!
Our first liminal space of the video. Liminal spaces all share at least some of the qualities we mentioned when discussing this hotel image, but the specifics of what makes a space liminal is still not cemented. We need a checklist of things to consider and look for when visiting these places, so while we're stuck in this metal tube flying down a tunnel, let's explore the definitions of a liminal space and what makes them scary, as it tends to differ quite a lot every time I hear it. You've probably heard that statement alone multiple times, but I feel like there's still some more to explore, and for this video to have direction and to rank all the places we're visiting,
that
we
feels
need
more
to understand
nostalgic
what
than
we're looking
liminal
for.
to me.
The dictionary.com definition is either 1. A state or place characterized by being transitional or intermediate in some way. The emphasis on transition explains why hallways are so common in these liminal space images. They're literally transitional, places without any purpose other than to get out of that place, or from one place to another. And in many cases, these spaces
like
hold the least amount of identity or humanity.
It's like a real life. It's like a real life place that looks like it should be a blueprint, or it looks like it should be a loading screen. You know what I mean? That's the best way to say it. It looks like it should be a loading screen or
there's such a regular occurrence to encounter, yet also have potential to be the most unsettling parts of buildings. For example, if you're visiting a building for the first time and you get lost, it will often be in a winding corridor or staircase, where the building is less polished, where lighting becomes gritty, and sound becomes more muffled. Perhaps we associate those experiences of slight nervousness of being in the wrong place and isolated with strange hallways in general. It's a novel experience being in those situations.
I think everybody at some point as a kid has gotten lost or has been like unaware of your location. You know, it's a natural thing to go through, and I think it's a primal fear, not knowing like your direction, where you are, which way to go. You know, that's why compasses and everything were so revolutionary. You know, the sort of like a primal fear of the darkness, primal fear of like animals, you know, stuff like that. So I think it makes sense.
Because it is a new place, yet how many hallways have you been in that look similar or familiar to the one that you're lost in? Probably a few. That's a great start. The idea of being between two objectives or two rooms being recognized as a unique experience as its own term is comforting. It's a discernible human experience to have a shift in awareness and perception towards mindfulness or being present when stepping into a quiet and tranquil hallway after spending time in a busier or more relatively stressful environment. Feeling detached from the world for a brief moment, yet more in tune with it at the same time. Perhaps it's being away from socialization. Could that be why liminal spaces are often empty? More broadly, the second definition states any location that is unsettling, uncanny, or dreamlike. So let's quickly take a look at some of the most famous recognized liminal spaces. Things they have in common are strange and dim lighting, and familiar sights that are sometimes
It's the offness of the fact that one lamp is square while the other's circular. This stand has no purpose there to being there, but like even sitting there, you still wouldn't be directly looking at the TV. You would be looking at the door if you sat there. So what's the point of this? Why are these two different colors? There's not enough chairs for this table. There's too many things that are just wrong about this.
Warped in some way, such as these seemingly over-complex stairs, or the combination of the two, such as this hotel room that also looks like a zoo enclosure. This is also a good specific example of what the disruption of the norm is that makes it uncanny a decent amount of the time. Trying to recreate something inherently natural or human, yet missing the mark in some way, similar to the uncanny valley effect. You might have noticed that with the courtyard in the hotel we're traveling to now, as well as other liminal spaces that you may have seen. It's meant to look like a communal outdoor space, yet it's inside, empty and soulless. It's a place that shelters many people, yet there's no apparent soul or humanity. Another remarkable example of this is this underground bunker that was built at the height of the Cold War and designed to look like a regular suburb, or this end-of-life care home. It just pushes that isolation even further. Then, there are examples of hallways and backrooms with strong themes of what we discussed as to why hallways or backrooms in general feel that way, paired with the disruption, the subversion of expectation, such as the material in this Seattle Public Library hallway, or this famous, yet in my opinion a bit corny, flooded subway tunnel image. Finally, we have nostalgia, which seems to be the most favourable when it comes to bringing people together in a shared experience in a more precise way than just the feeling of being somewhere you shouldn't be. That being said, that feeling shouldn't be understated, and many people argue that the lack of context, the lack of specificity, and the space for the fear of the unknown is what fuels the incredibly imaginative stories or creative artwork and interpretations from horror fans around liminal spaces. Anyway, the nostalgia
the one like the the golf course that's like the lights are turned on and not like blue lights that give you like the LEDs. Stuff like that, people have always found fascinating though. The thing about like there's like entire YouTube channels which I haven't reacted to in a while, and I should react to them again. That are dedicated to like theme parks while the lights are turned on. You know what I'm saying? While like going through a ride while the lights are on, and you get to see all the
idea
behind the
of the
scenes
transition
stuff. You know?
between a lively environment and the opposite, similarly to the original definition of liminal spaces, only this time it's the contrast between a childhood environment and the emotions behind the experiences perceived within them, juxtaposed with the feeling of emptiness or experiencing those environments through a different lens. This comment from Killcode2 sums it up perfectly.
Imagine a classroom from your childhood. Surely, you are imagining it in the day, with sunlight spilling in through the windows and kids shuffling to their desks. This is a state in which a classroom is most frequently seen and serves a purpose for. Now imagine sneaking into your school, late at night, and everything is empty. It's almost eerie seeing the same classroom at night in a totally different context. Suddenly, its usual purpose has been robbed and it's just a room, but not quite, because now it also feels strangely alien and enigmatic to you. Purposeless, otherworldly architecture. The next day, that room will be back to normal, in its default state. It is back to being a real classroom, but that middle phase it was in when you saw it in the night, it's a liminal phase, a state of transition. And often spaces like that carry eerie characteristics, such as being out of time and out of place. That's liminal spaces for you. The same could apply for an abandoned mall, an overgrown treehouse, or a swimming pool with all the water gone.
Take this image of a Blockbusters that's been shut down, for example. This picture of a children's play area taken at night when the mall is shut, or even this empty shopping mall captioned,
I'm telling you, bro, it's like a loading screen. It's like a building that has no purpose right now until something comes along and gives it purpose. It's like Schrodinger's cat. Does the mall exist while it's shut down?
visiting my childhood mall. It always had so many people. The sentiment being that it's an environment that's in a condition that it isn't usually, particularly if it's in a stage before it's either going back to normal or becoming something else. The aspect of nostalgia nicely pairs with the original liminal definition by associating these spaces as being stuck in time or adding extra familiarity.
The one by my house had Donkey Kong.
Of course, it can also be simplified to the basics of a visual of childhood which is happy and turning that wholesome and comforting memory into something bad or scary, essentially making you feel like the most basic human pleasures have been corrupted or taken from you. And lastly, for nostalgia, before we arrive at the hotel, seeing an environment through a different lens, particularly in childhood, could also be gesturing towards seeing the world differently after a stressful or traumatic event. Perhaps as a child, your friends associated a certain area with fun or laughter, but a kind of disruption or disturbance made you see that environment as tainted, or you start to see individual raw components and materials in an environment more for what they were, rather than the overall comprehensive atmosphere they were put there to create. This could be why certain liminal space tropes are often seen duplicated or replicated amongst weird core or trauma core images that you might see popping up on Pinterest. I have no idea if this is a suitable way of dealing with experiences in that vein, but it could explain how they got the association. Oh, would you look at that?
They're
just in
definitely
time to get off the train. Just as we finish the checklist of what we're looking for and what we want to delve into when exploring these real liminal spaces. We've got dim light, nostalgia, literal liminal spaces, these intermediate areas like hallways, isolation, familiarity, subversion of expectation, uncanny valley, fear of the unknown or paranormal isolation, and a transition period. But I'm also super curious about the new things that we'll notice and experience, and ideas that we'll be drawn to as we explore these peculiar environments. In fact, even this station has some notable architecture that felt at least a little bit eerie. Look at this gigantic drop.
Liminal elevator, do you hear those sounds? It's haunted.
What are these poles?
What are those?
It's a big flute.
That's like for people to like not try to like escape the security guards and stuff through it.
Already
I'm pretty sure.
Happen.
This station
or like
is
get
so
stuck.
creepy. It just feels like there's nothing. Oris? What the
I mean, it's all about perspective
until the next
too.
Train pulled through.
If you got this spot right here at like a really good time, where it's empty, it would be like you could get a really good liminal shot.
We were anticipating something pretty normal.
I kind of want to start getting into liminal photography a little bit.
After getting off the train, you walk through a fairly standard underground tunnel to a lift, which brings you to the airport check-in. And behind a door with a dark interior is the hotel. I thought it looked pretty creepy for a cool shot, but nothing could have prepared us for what was actually behind it. Probably the least welcoming entrance to a hotel I've ever seen. But wow,
that's
was
the
it perfect
entrance
for this video.
Why is it
it's a liminal space all on its own.
The
What the
exact
hell?
definition of liminal. The structure serves no purpose other than to connect the airport to the hotels, and it could not be more creepy. Military-like paneling with dusty grates, industrial beams, dim lighting, and tacky
No, if it wasn't for the
adverts that seemed to
advertising,
go off
bro,
into the distance
I could see a
indefinitely.
smiler living
If
there.
it wasn't already
You kidding me?
suffocating, blurred
That's a
windows only
Backrooms
give
shiz.
glimpses into the outside, and it was at this point I realized that we were actually suspended in air. After walking for what felt like quite a while, we walked past a few other hotels. Whoever planned this complex surely must have been aware about how absurd it is. Literally a series of tubes connecting multiple hotels together. So bizarre, yet the out-of-touch adverts were occupying that same space, promoting comfort, family leisure, and even a personal touch with the cursive handwritten fonts.
It's like the most dystopian adverts ever.
Real though, it looks like something out of a movie.
But eventually,
It looks like those
we got
fake
fun.
ads in the movies.
Okay, here we are. The Holiday Inn
That's
Express.
recognizable.
Our
in
first liminal space that just so happened to be at Heathrow Airport, the Holiday Inn Hotel at Terminal 4.
It's probably the scariest entrance to a hotel I've ever seen. Definitely something that is not very welcoming. Not
That's the
very inviting.
entrance there?
The only thing we can do now is go in.
This right here!
And just around the corner was another strange surprise.
Bro, hotels should have like a VR experience that you can like go through.
This is exactly what every hotel's like.
Stop! No way the freaking lights were flickering like that!
Why
Like a
are
freaking
airports
horror
and
movie.
hotels like this? It's like they're trying to create the most freaky environment possible when trying to create something to seem modern or sophisticated. The only
Yo,
thing I can
for
think
real,
of is that
though.
they choose the most unconventional things to make traveling seem more novel to appeal to you in the future. I wonder
It's
how
like
many
Mark
customers this
Zuckerberg
glow-stick
trying to design
escalator
it.
is called back though. Just before the lobby, there was this iconic British red
Doctor
telephone
Who!
box to symbolize that you are in fact in the UK, despite being completely surrounded by metal tubes and green lights since you've landed as a tourist. We tried to get some cool shots of the walkway we just been down, which is quite impressive if I'm being honest. It looks really appealing and retro-futuristic from the outside, and the ambience with all the lights and the cool breeze was really refreshing until...
Security!
We got told it
Security!
was technically part of the airport and to stop filming. God, I felt so annoying to the workers. We literally just thought the tunnel looked cool. In any case, it's time to finally enter the hotel lobby.
At least they were respectful.
Wow, the area of the courtyard that we
that's
saw
it?
earlier was not hidden away at all. As soon as you walk through the doors, you're met with hundreds and hundreds of windows stretching in every direction, with eerie,
told you, bro,
off-putting
it's
blue
about
lights filling
perspective.
up minimal amounts of the area, assumedly to represent it being nighttime. It was a maze of windows and passageways. I mean, just look at how disorienting this looks.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hotel lobbies are peculiar anyway, and this one definitely sums it up. Furniture placed around warm lighting, reaching for the air of high class or a premium experience, but ultimately feeling flat and off in a weird way. It's the exact feeling noted of the uncanny valley in liminal spaces. It's a recreation of a human environment rather than a natural one. It just doesn't feel right. It's too engineered, so clean and perfect. Here is the place where you shall rest in the lobby. Like, the workers were amazing and incredibly kind, but overall the
But what
design
happened to,
and
like, that
execution
weird
of this
grass
hotel
and
was just
everything?
trying
I
to
guess they
appear
just
luxurious,
filled it with
highbrow,
these
modern,
bars
and
now?
high status. But because I assume the budget was not there to support that, as with its design choices, it just feels fake, uncanny, and hollow. And it's not like that was getting by any of the guests. All guests were just there because they kind of had to be for their travel plans. This isn't the type of hotel you book to go and relax on a leisure holiday. And while we're at it, aside from the transitionary space of the tunnel, this entire hotel reeks of the literal definition of liminal. I assume 90% of the people
For
here
real, though.
are just here to sleep before or after their flight to go somewhere else. It's a transitional place by nature of being a hotel. People are only here on their way to somewhere else.
Like, you
and
know
I'll
that
touch
bar
on
has
this more
never been
later,
full.
But the whole experience was in this transitional state. Next to no natural light left no indication
Unless it's like
of what
an
time of
employee
day it
party or
was.
something.
Workers were on shift for long hours that are irregular, and everything was super clean because it's a 24-hour travel hotel. The whole period is a transitional period. It's constantly being cleaned, staff constantly rotating. The only thing that changes is the lighting in the courtyard. It was well kept, sure, but like I said, there was no character to anything, no humanity or charm. It felt overly sanitized and synthetic, honestly feeling more like a hospital than a hotel. The staff were very nice though, and soon enough we were checked into room 391. When I booked the ticket on the phone, I asked specifically for a room facing the courtyard.
So we're on our floor, and we asked for a room that looks out onto the courtyard that is in the iconic image. But I didn't know if it was going to be possible, so let's see if we got exactly what we wanted.
Okay,
Again,
let's
this
see.
walkway is insane, and already there is the
Told
indoor
you.
space, the indoor courtyard.
Yeah, it's all about the perspective.
Why is there a roof on the courtyard? You know, so weird. You can see a strange bar down below.
Ah, see, that's the weird perspective there.
Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
That's what you don't see. You don't look down just
Let's
a
see if
little
our
bit.
bedroom window view is the exact same, and we can lean out and replicate the image.
It was definitely a surreal feeling to see the exact iconic image in real life, and for it to be the exact same. You would expect the lighting to be a little different in person, but it looked the same through the human eye as it does in the picture. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not scared of any entities jumping out or anything paranormal happening, but there was a weird feeling in this hotel.
Smiler!
Hotels do
Ah!
have strange atmospheres,
No!
especially chain and hotels like this one. But the architecture, lighting, and overall aesthetics of this place felt like I was quite literally walking around a liminal space. The ambience was off-putting. The only thing missing was that isolated feeling. Despite people being around more
Oh,
than
bro, imagine
occasionally,
walking around
it
there
did
with that
feel
music, that
somewhat
like
isolating.
Backrooms
I mean, the claustrophobic
liminal
feeling
space
was
music playing, you know what I
definitely
mean?
there. And looking in the
just give me the
exact
chills.
direction of the original image did give me a noticeable ominous feeling. Actually existing in the iconic space when there are all these people around though definitely does detract from the image a little. It does remove some of the mystery, and the fear of the unknown very quickly becomes contextualized into the real world. That being said, the closed roof and pseudo-homeliness of it all felt like a mismatch of a lot of things together. Take this bar for example, which is directly under all the rooms. It feels like a segment of the Garry's Mod map Places from Your Dreams, where different completely separate locations stitch together in really uncanny ways, which definitely plays into getting familiar environments and disrupting that with something odd. In this case, the creepy ass atrium. I realize the reason for this now though. It's because no hotel room can not have a window without the hotel having to charge very cheap prices. So they create this weird fake outdoors courtyard atrium so that all rooms can have windows, even if that window doesn't actually reach the outside world. There is definitely a reason that image gained such popularity, almost surely significantly due to the real environment.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, that's a lot of real estate that they could be using for more extra rooms. You get what I'm saying?
Was taken in. This place is straight up weird, and the picture perfectly captures the essence of that. There are no hidden effects, no filters or anything. In fact, those two people in the window, those are actually reflections. Those two people in the window were the people who took the picture. But we still need to find out what that black box is in
I
the
didn't think
top
about
left.
that.
Very, very weird. Very liminal. Really, indeed.
Explore the rest of the hotel, try and get onto the courtyard itself, and of course, check out the room. Let's do that now.
We should get a tricycle to ride down this.
Come play TF2 with us, Danny.
Come play with us.
Did you guys feel that? Did you get chills? I feel like there's an entity down here somewhere.
Well, the other one was like, this is much slimmer than before.
Like, look at the way
What's that one with the creepy face that like crawls throughout the hallways?
The hallways just seem like they go on forever.
Yep, what an astute observation, Mr. Oris. The hallways did seem to go on forever, and the repetition was a little spooky. It was quite disorienting because every time you left the room, it always felt like it took a slightly different time to get to the lobby. But I can't lie and say that it was super different from other hotels, aside from the sheer length of the corridors.
Oh, they didn't give us the... We asked specifically for that.
Let's see what it's like inside.
We can just see London. That's probably the most disappointing view ever. Look at this.
You got a view of the tube.
Oh,
Why does
they
it
got
look
a
like
view of
space
outside.
thing? This looks like a movie set from a bad space movie. That chair, look at that. Like, it's the Among Us chair.
Oh my god.
The Among Us chair.
What is this too?
Yeah, what is that?
Whoa.
Whoa, it's a
I think the
light?
picture was actually taken from the balcony.
It's
and
a
not the
handle,
room window.
ladies.
True.
Because the angle seems to
It
match
can't be a
perfectly
steady.
with the balcony and the floor we're on, which is really, really lucky. So, let's go.
But will we be able to get onto the courtyard?
It smells weird in here.
It does.
Doubt it.
I've seen lots of images of people who say that liminal spaces smell like varnish, especially the British ones that we were looking at earlier. This doesn't
An
smell like
over diluted
varnish, it smells
orange
like clean
squash.
product.
What?
But this is the floor where hopefully we can get a better view of that patio area, the courtyard.
Oh, yeah.
How quickly do you think we'll get kicked out if I try and run on there?
You know what? We should like just ask them.
Yes, we should.
I think we should.
Let's do it. The only
Just
thing we can do is
ask?
say no.
I mean, yeah, and they might, but wait.
I mean, if you're already not gonna
There's
do
a
it,
gate.
No.
might as well ask.
No. You just feel
There's a gate! Just go for it. There's a gate! Damn!
I think they might open it in the morning. So we might be able to wake up and go, but let's go ask now. There's also this other gate here, which leads to this tiny, tiny glass
Why?
enclosure. I don't know what this is for, pretty creepy. Trapping the entities. It's probably like a force field around it.
Trapping the entities!
I need something to get rid of the entities to scare them away. Luckily I found the anti-ghost machine.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's sick.
We decided
I
to
want one of
explore some more of
those.
the hotel, just going down random staircases and hallways to see what other liminal spaces or interesting
I want
things
one
we
of
could
those here in the
find
US at the hotels I stay at.
Holiday Inn.
Oh. What is this?
It's an entity, don't touch it. It's a mimic. Don't touch it! You got bro. If this was the Backrooms, you would've been 8. You
Wait,
stupid.
there's something in it?
Yeah.
I would've ate you like that, bro. Right there. Yum.
Odds on 1 to 10. If we say the same number, I'll drink it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
7.
4.
I can't wait till it turns
seems
out
like
that
we
was a
could
murder
be
weapon, and then now his
exploring
fingerprints
liminal
are on it.
space. There is just darkness through here. Until there's not.
Crazy.
Where is this? We're literally just trying to find the lobby. And it goes further down and down and down.
This is kind of cool. Very industrial, actually.
see it?
Well, the black.
Yeah, what was it? Oh, let me
Yeah, what is the deal with that? Oh, come on! How are you making it
Going
even more
down,
liminal?
It just goes down. And, oh my god.
Oh, hell no.
The lights are
Oh, hell no.
Okay, wait.
That is straight out of the Backrooms, bro. Nah.
Turn that flashlight on.
The lights just aren't turning back on.
God.
What the hell?
Nah, son, screw that. That is literally them transitioning into the Backrooms right now. They're gonna get to the next
Okay,
doors.
Yeah, we are on -1.
Mine is 1.
Why is it
Level
just
-1, bro. Actual Backrooms.
It's the radiator entity. Ooh.
Oh, hell no. This place literally is the
It's just like a
Backrooms.
little.
If there is a place that will lead you to the actual real life Backrooms, it's this place.
It's like a Nike tag. I'm literally just making a trash now. This is crazy. What is on -2?
-2, get out of here. No freaking way.
1.
Oh, it's just a car park, but I guess that's good.
Is it a liminal car park? No.
It's the car park!
Just a normal car park.
No, it's a liminal one. They're in the Backrooms right now.
Trying to ask if we can get onto the courtyard.
We found
gonna
some
try to go back
black
to the real
sludge,
world.
An indescribable entity.
They got
must
lucky
have
though. If they
left
would have kept
behind.
going further in, and they would have actually stayed there trapped forever.
Black goo.
They got out just barely in
And black
time.
goo drips down onto here. Can you see that on the camera?
Wait, what? I thought you were making up like a joke. No, oh my god, you're being for real.
Like an entity is being killed here.
You can't really see it on
What
the
the
wall.
hell? Okay.
If I get in real close.
Yeah, it's the
Could
moon
actually,
creature. It's the
Nutrients
moon
about
creature.
Well, I'm trying to think what the actual explanation is, but did someone just throw petrol at the wall?
Or like a glass of olives. Black olives.
Or is this hotel really cursed?
After a while, our sanity must have dwindled, because I kept getting strange flashes of memories that I can't quite put my finger on.
Oh yeah?
It's a beeping noise. It's probably nothing. Hers?
Beep beep. I'm a sheep.
Going around the dark hallways was definitely more eerie, so when we came across a canteen
Oh, I love
which
these
happened to be
breakfasts,
empty,
bro.
we were curious about what might end up being there.
This, yeah, I know, that's why I'm just keep. I don't think we're allowed to, but I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, the hot dog machine.
We're just churning over.
The thing that makes it weird is that there's just no windows anywhere.
And just how plain everything is. It's like it was made in Blender or something. Plastic everything, no texture, no windows, flat lighting. But we're still not expecting anything like this broom cupboard.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing about that is the fact that we're not like
This is
underground,
pretty
like, there
freaking
could be windows,
liminal too.
but they just chose not to
They
do
didn't
that.
want anyone seeing in. Like, they don't want anyone to know what's behind this door.
And it's all in one freaking hotel, are you kidding me? Wow, it would go right out there! Wow, of all places!
Looks like a cupboard leading onto the bar being blocked off by a table. I'm not sure.
No
All I know
freaking
is that I was
way! It's
joking
being
about
blocked
anything
by a
interesting being
freaking
behind there,
table.
thinking it was storage, and then to see tons of spooky rooms as soon as I opened it was hilarious.
No way. No freaking way.
A secret door. That is insane.
We finally asked some staff if we were able to go into the courtyard, but after some supervisors got involved, it was clear they weren't going to let us. But we thought it may be open tomorrow morning, or at least a different supervisor would be on shift that might just have a different answer. After we'd seen most of the hotel, we decided to turn in for the night before we came back outside at 3 AM to summon an entity. I'm looking for liminal space entities
summon an
that we can
entity?
summon, and it says that liminal creatures are considered seals, crabs, shorebirds, frogs, bats, dolphins, and whales.
Ah,
So you want to spawn in a whale?
spawn a
The lobby
whale in, let's
provided a
go.
free toothbrush and baby toothpaste upon request too,
Oh,
coming in
nice!
this sleek box. At the time I thought this was quite charming and representative of their
I have never asked for that, and I should from now on.
futuristic, if you can call it that,
I always
aesthetic.
bring my own.
But now I realize I'm just filming some toothpaste. 3 AM. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not stooping to the 3 AM challenge level. But now that it's morning, let's see what the courtyard looks like. Will there be any more natural light? Well, you can see here that the courtyard still seems pretty dim. The blue lights are still turned on,
Like,
but there does
actually,
seem to be a
though.
little bit more light from the skylight above the main lobby, perhaps. If anything, though, it makes the courtyard look more scary. It starts off bright and then slowly fades into darkness and
It
obscurity.
does.
The courtyard was still not open though, so we waited for another worker to be on shift and asked them. After speaking with someone at the front desk, they said they would be able to call security and see if they were free to take us onto the courtyard, and they said yes. We were so excited considering that yesterday we had no chance.
Hey!
We would be able to get the dream shot of both of us on the grass, and then another one of us on the balcony looking down at the other one, stuck forever in time in the courtyard. A fully suited security guard escorted us back up to the first floor, and then we walked over to the gate. And then he said he can't actually take us on the courtyard because he doesn't have the
come
key card. So he
on!
basically thought we just wanted to go back up to the first floor and take pictures from the places that we already had been this whole time. Oh well, he was a super chill guy, super nice. It did make me wish I just ran on there beforehand and get kicked out for the footage or something, but whatever. We got to experience the real liminal hotel. Still,
Honestly, you should have just done it at like 1, 2 in the morning when nobody was like really would have been like cared or awake or mattered. And just like very silently, very quietly done it, you know, without anybody noticing.
right there. But we still needed to find
Or
out what
don't,
was
because
in
then
that
you get in
black
trouble.
box.
And also,
So
I'm
we
sure
headed
it's
up
just
to the
annoying. You know, you don't want other
top
people to try to do the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like a vent or something, but I bet there were some hidden monsters just behind there. We also got to get up close with this weird rail that went around the entire main hall, which was really bizarre. It looks like a massive curtain could go all the way around or something, which is very mysterious. An explanation I could think of was that it's an attachment for window cleaners to go around on, cleaning all the bedroom windows.
Oh, that makes sense.
In any case, just look at how high up this platform is. Tell me that doesn't
Maybe they
look
can hang up stuff for
absolutely
like
surreal.
celebrations.
Being so high up on a glowing blue platform above these freaky ass windows. Man, I just want to know what this architect was thinking when he made this. What was his vision? Overall, looking at our checklist, I'll give the Terminal 4 Holiday Inn a 7.3 out of 10. After
What
a
a
weird
creepy
and
pig.
odd stay at the Terminal 4 Holiday Inn without actually travelling anywhere, it's time to go to our next liminal space, Westfield's Stratford City, on the complete other.
But I'll tell you what, though. That's already a 30 minutes. Like, dude, this video's gonna be already so freaking long. We're gonna end it there. I am past time already as well for the stream. If you please go and check out the rest of this particular video. I'm gonna drop a like I'm gonna finish the rest of this myself. Honestly, tonight going to sleep. So I said I was gonna watch 10 minutes, and I ended up watching 30 minutes into it. I'm gonna share this. Please go watch it yourself. I'm definitely gonna finish this personally. I'll drop this in the Discord. Bam! Go drop him a like, go drop him a sub, share the love. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!